As a hopeless guitar enthusiast, one of the things that I like to do, holed up in this house all alone during this pandemic, is I like to go onto the interwebs and go on Reverb and eBay and high-end vintage guitar sites and look at their used and vintage inventory and try to guess the year, make, and model of all of their guitars just based on the listing photo before I scroll down and see what it actually is. And then once I know what it is, then I like to guess what their asking price is going to be. I'll actually do this. I'll actually sit here and talk out loud to my imaginary girlfriend and try to impress her with my extensive guitar knowledge. So I figured as long as I'm sitting here talking out loud to myself, why not put a camera on me and we can record a new segment called Guitar Surfin' with Hopeless.
Surfin' with Hopeless.
My victim for this episode is going to be the Chicago Music Exchange, and I just want to preface, this is just a baby channel right now when I'm recording this. No monetization, no sponsorship, but I know a few years down the road when I'm wildly popular and successful that Chicago Music Exchange will be begging me for sponsorships. In fact, they'll be ordering up Fender custom shop guitars in my name, giving them to me for free because of all the money and traffic that gets funneled to their site. I know this is true because I am psychic. I'm also psychic because I know that the zit scab on the left side of my nose will eventually go away. So I don't know if this is going to be interesting or how this is going to go. I figured, why not? Let's try it. So what I have is I got Chicago Music Exchange's vintage section on the screen, and I only have the screen down to just where you can see the pictures. Now it's going to be 4 at a time, so a lot to chew at one time, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go by each row, see if I can guess the year, see if I can guess the year, make, and model of that guitar. And if I get the exact year, usually I give myself a year or two, but I'm gonna be strict with myself. I'm gonna say I gotta guess the exact year and the exact make and model to get a point. And then we'll see when I go through this inventory how many points that I have. You wanna start? Wanna go? I got the screen recording here. Let's see here. So we got 4 guitars, and right off the bat, we got a big money guitar. Wow. So here's what it looks like for this first row. Now, it's hard to tell sometimes from these small pictures, but I think I'm looking at the first guitar on the left is a legit Gibson ES335 TDN, natural custom order. Looks like it's got PAFs in it, nickel covers, stop bar. It's got the round Mickey Mouse ears. It looks legit. So it's got the long guard too. Doesn't look like there's a snake bite. It's got the bell top knobs. Thing looks legit, dot neck, round ears. Yeah, this is a big money guitar, if it is what I think. Now, they did go back to kind of doing the older style 335s in the early 80s, like 82, 83, which are pretty nice, sought after guitars. I still think this is a legit original though. So I'm gonna go with my guess on that one is a 1959. It could be a 60. Well, it's a long guard, it's natural. I'm gonna go ahead. It's a 59 Gibson ES335 in natural. That's my final answer, Bob. Next to it is the same model about 10 years later. It's another Gibson ES335. It's in a custom color. It's in sparkling burgundy, but that was a finish that was featured on the Melody Makers of the time, the SG style Melody Makers, but it was a custom option. And you'll see it on 330s, 335s, 345s, 355s. This looks like it's in pretty good condition. It's faded a little bit. Sparkling burgundy can go anywhere from kind of a coppery red to like almost like a brown. This is still in great condition. I don't think it's a refin. It's got the witch hat knobs. I'm gonna say that most of those were from 68. Nylon saddles, pointed ears, yeah. So I'm gonna say that is a 1968 Gibson ES335 in sparkling burgundy. It looks original. It's got the chrome plate. You can tell if you look at the two, you got chrome covers here and you got nickel covers there. Okay, this one's a little, I don't know if I'll get this one right. This one's a little different. It is a full body Gibson ES175, that I know. Chrome covers, it's got your kind of 3-tone tobacco burst, reflector knobs. That one's hard because I want to say mid 60s on that one, on the 175. Okay, I'm gonna say my final answer on that was a 1965 Gibson ES175. That's what I'll have to go for. And this last one is a pretty nice looking Mustang. The Mustang was introduced in '64. It was their most popular guitar, best-selling guitar by far in the '60s. High quality student level model. They offered it in red, white, and blue. It's ollie white. They think they just call it white. And this one looks original. It looks like it's in good condition. I would say there's no clear coat on it, so it hasn't yellowed. 64 is the first year. I'm gonna say this is a 65. It has that look to it. So, boy, this video might be like 2 hours long. 1959 Gibson ES335 TDN. 1968 Gibson ES335 in sparkling burgundy. 1965 Gibson ES175. 1965 Fender Mustang in white. Let's see how I did. Boom. Okay, Gibson ES335 natural 1959. So I'm 1 for 1. 1968 sparkling burgundy 335. I'm 2 for 2. And 1960s. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna give this one to me. I'm gonna talk to my imaginary girlfriend here. This one counts because the Gibson serial numbers are tricky in the 60s because they in like 60, 61 they went to that like 4, 5, and 6 digit like stamped, and they reuse numbers 2 and 3 times, so it's difficult to kind of get what year it is. Though, of course, the necks get smaller, the electronics change, it went from nickel to chrome plating. There's ways of pinpointing the year, but they didn't go through that trouble, so we can't tell. So I'm gonna give that one to me. I'm gonna say I'm right. I'm gonna say it's about a 65. So I'm 3 for 3. Fender Mustang 1965. That was a crapshoot. It could have been like a 64 to like 66. So I am 4 for 4. I should put in some kind of sound effect for that. Clapping sound effect. Okay, now I just want to guess. First one's a big money guitar. Obviously, if this is a Les Paul, it'd be $250,000, but doesn't look like there's a snake bite. It looks legit. It looks original. I'll say 100K on that. Custom color, straight, 100K. Now, the late 60s 335s aren't as pricey, but since this one looks all original in a custom finish that's in good condition, I'll say they want, I'd say 8, because you can normally get like 5 to 7 around this period for standard, like, you know, sunbursts. I say 8 grand, 3,500 on the 175, and then 2 to 25. I know they want, it's not worth 25, but they might list it as 25. Let's just refer. Okay, so 100K, 8K, 3,500, 2,500. Let's see how close it was. 130. Wow. Yeah, that must be totally 100% legit. That looks original PAF pickups, wiring harness, 59-pound bumblebee caps, blah blah blah. Inside, now it looks like there was some ads, but yeah, for the most part, that one's legit. Wow, 130K, man. Woo. 8 grand, right on the money for the burgundy. Okay, I was a little high. It's at 35 and then 175, so there might be something going on there. And 24, so it was $100. So I'm pretty good. I'm pretty smart, ain't I, Betsy? I gotta give my imaginary girlfriend a sexier name than that. I'm not gonna do as well on this row. I'm good on Gibson and Fender, and when it gets outside of Fender and Gibson, Okay, well, we got a GRETSCH 6122. I am not good with them. I'm gonna say it's a cool guitar. 62, 64, say 63. I don't feel good about 63. Okay, let's 63 GRETSCH 6122 Country Gentleman in black, which is cool. And then here's something that's really cool. This is a STARFIRE 4 in black. And the Guild Starfires, those are actually really cool guitars in the 60s. As I say, real 335 killers, bro. But made in New Jersey. I owned a 66 STARFIRE 6, the top of the line one, but it was refinished and it had a wavy maple top, which was nicknamed Wavy Gravy. It was a cool guitar. It had a really skinny neck. That was my only complaint, but really nice built guitar. So black is a very rare finish. They had, like, you can get cherry, sunburst is standard, then cherry is pretty common. I think there was natural's rare, black's rare, there was emerald green. So it might be a refin, but I'll say that that's a 65 Guild Starfire 4 in black. Now we have another GRETSCH. I think that's a 6120 Chet Atkins, which is weird because those are usually orange and this one's red. And I'm really showing my ignorance as a guitar buff because I don't know GRETSCH. It's gonna be fun to dive into GRETSCH and learn GRETSCH. So I hope in a couple of years I'll know a lot more about GRETSCH because they're cool looking guitars. Yeah, 60, let's just say 64. It looks kind of older. It's got the big, it's kind of maybe chrome plated Bigsby. And then the last one, really cool, early Fender's Bass 6. And you can tell it's an earlier one because it's got the older pickups. They went to Jaguar style pickups. I think they had 4 pickups on the later version.
Nope.
But like the first year and a half or first 2 years of production had these single coils with these big surrounds around them. It looks, if it's legit, it's retained the red. I'm gonna say that's they debuted in 61, so I'm gonna say that's a 62. So from left to right, we're gonna say 60, 63, 6122 in black, a 65 Guild Starfire 4 in black, a GRETSCH 6120 Chet Atkins in red, and a 1962 Fender Bass 6. Let's see how I did. Oh man, I was 1 year off. 1 year off on it. So it is a Country Gentleman 6122 in black, 64. I mean, you want to give that one to me? I won't take it. I said year on the dot. Those are the rules. Okay, but still, I'm impressed. I actually knew that. Cool. And the Starfire is green. It's a 67, so I didn't get that one either, but green is super rare. If that's legit, damn. I have a thing for custom colors. I am horny for custom colors. And I have a thing for greens. Normally not transparent greens. I like more solid greens and metallic greens, but a greens, I said, one of these days, when I had that 66 Starfire, like, it'd be cool if I had one in emerald green. And damn, is it legit? Yeah, it looks like it's legit. 1960, yeah, it was older, so I was wrong. And it's a Country Gentleman, so it's not checked, so I'm wrong there. 62 Fender Bass. So I got one. I got one of those. I am 5 for 8 right now. Not bad. I was close on some. The Fender Bass, I would say, is around 8 grand, maybe 10. I'll go 10K on that one. The other ones I really don't gonna know. Yeah, oh God, 13.5 for that black Country Gentleman. Yeah, so that must be a true custom color. 3 grand. That's not bad for a legit Starfire. That's cool. That's really cool. 10 grand. Again, custom color. They're normally in that round. What the hell is that color? Orange. I don't know what they call it. It red, custom color, big time. Yep, 10 grand. That's about right for an early Bass 6. Okay, what do we got here? First one, 69 Mahogany THINLINE with a Bigsby. Next one, 55 reissue Les Paul Special Norlin era, 76. Say 76. 3/4 Les Paul Special, Les Paul Jr. And it doesn't have the super rounded off horns or rounded off contours, but it's got, I know they made a lot of 59, so I'm gonna guess that's a 59 3/4 Les Paul Jr. Cherry Red. And then we've got another Country Gentleman, a 6122 in a standard finish. Let's go with 1960 on that one. Because that's the thing, it's a double cut though. It can't be. 62. Okay, left to right. 69 Mahogany THINLINE TELE with a Bigsby Natural. 76 55 Les Paul Special reissue. 1959 Gibson 3/4 Les Paul Jr. 1962 6122 Country Gentleman GRETSCH. Let's see how I did. 1968. Okay, could have been a 68 or 69. I was off. So got that one wrong, but I basically had it right. Chastity. Probably that sounds like a porn name. Okay, 55 reissue. I had the model right, 74, which I think was the first year that they did that model, if I'm not mistaken. So I was guessing it would be a first year. Okay. I had it right, but I didn't. 59 Junior. Okay, ding. Okay, I got one. And 62. Oh, it's a 6120 Chet Atkins. God, I gotta gotta learn my GRETSCHs, man. Okay, so I only can legitimately say that I got one of these. Okay, so I'm 6 out of 12 right now. So how much do they want for this stuff? Early mahogany thin lines, they go for decent money. Bigsby, I don't know if that adds to the value. I'd say 7 grand, 8. Okay, 8K. Let's go 8K. The Les Paul Special, probably 3 grand. We'll go 3 grand there. The Junior, it looks in good condition. It looks legit, even though I don't think it should be worth a lot. I'll say 3,500 for that one. And the Chet Atkins, let's just say, standard finish, I think. So let's say 4 grand on that. So 8K, 3 grand, 3,500, 4 grand. Let's see how good I did. Okay, it was originally listed at 7K. It's dropped down to 59, so basically 6. Okay. Oh wow, that was a lot cheaper than I thought it was going to be. So 2,200 down to 18. Though granted, I'm not looking at the details. There might be repairs, mods, that sort of thing. So under 2 grand. Originally 3 grand. Now it's down to 25. Okay. Now we're making some deals here. And originally 3,700, knocked down to 31. I normally guess high. Chicago, like a lot of online stores, they list high, especially Chicago Music Exchange. Usually goes to the high end level of the market, and it's in Illinois, which has, you know, the worst. The finances in Illinois, I mean, the tax rate is like 10.25% in Chicago. Okay, let's look at our next 4. Oh, we got some interesting stuff going on here now. A lot of guilds. So we have another guild, Starfire 4. Looks like a Starfire 4. I'm going to say 66 on that one. So 66 Starfire 4. A Black Explorer. I love me some Explorers. This one's got that what do they call it? The T6 bridge. I'll say that's a 1980. 1980 black, because they did black and white. I think that's when that bridge, tell me, when did that bridge start? It was like 78, 79? So I'm gonna say that's in 1980. Oh, it might be later. Oh, we'll go with 80. No, it could be 80. No, let's go with 83. 83. 83. We'll go with the 83 Black Explorer. And then another big money guitar. So we have another Long Guard ES. Now this one looks like a 345 because it's got, well, it's mono. Wait, okay. Long Guard, natural, mother of pearl inserts. I think it's probably a factory Bigsby. Looks a little offset too. Might be just the way I'm looking at it. But it might, okay. Probably 59 again. Looks legit. I'm going to say, now it's rare because sometimes they call these 335s with 345 inlay, or they just call it a 345 mono. I'm gonna lean towards it's a 345 mono. 59 again with a Bigsby, so it hurts the value a little bit, but big money guitar. Big money guitar. Yeah. And then very cool, SG Special. They called this Polaris white by this time. They still had a TV. The TV is supposed to be translucent, so I don't know if it's TV white or Polaris white or just white. I'm gonna guess that's a 65 probably. But that yeah, because it's got the short arm on there and it's got the lightning bolt. So white was a pretty popular SG color in 65. So from left to right, we got a 66 Guild Starfire 4, a 1983 Gibson Explorer in black, a 1959 ES345 TDN in mono, and a 1965 SG Special in white. Let's see what I did. Okay, so 1 year off, 65 on that Starfire. So I got the model right. Okay, so I was basically right, Mildred. 78. Oh, they did Black Explorers in 78, so that bridge does go back that far. I mean, if it is original. Okay, so I didn't get those. And it's a 1960 335, so it's a 335 and, oh wow, 77,000, so I can't guess the price. But yeah, so it's actually a 335 that they're calling it, but it's got 345 split parallelogram inlays. Wow. That's a cool guitar. Now that's a guitar. A lot of people would buy that before it burst. And then yeah, 65, they're calling it Alpine White. I don't think it's an Alpine White, that's wrong. They're wrong. You're wrong, Chicago Music Exchange. I know more than you. So I already saw the price, and I'd say the Guild's probably $3,000. The Explorer's probably more money. That one's probably $3,000. We saw it was 77. The SG is probably 5 because of the white. Damn, 1,700. I'm gonna start buying some guitars. Shit. 2,500. Damn. Where have I been? I'm in the clouds. I think the market's been dropping. I think that it's been dropping lately. Okay. 77.5. That's pocket change. And $5,000. So I was right on one of them. Okay. So I got one of those right. So that's 7 out of 16. You want to keep going? Oh, some cool stuff going on here. Okay. First of all, I don't know crap about Mosrites, so we got some kind of Mosrite Ventures, a Mach 4. I can't even pretend to know. Say a 65 Mosrite Ventures in black. I'm shooting in the dark on that one. Next one, 66 Jazzmaster all day. Well-defined red, milked out, sunburst on the yellow. It's got binding, no blocks. Witch hats, it screams 66. Next to it, Jaguar, no binding. Looks like it's got the fiber dots. Well-defined red, faded a little bit. Looks like a good condition 60. 62 is the first year. I'll go ahead and say this is 63. It could be a 64, but I'll say it's a 63 Jaguar. Now this last one's really cool. So this one is a company called Murph. Now Murph was a guitar that was made in the US, made in California. They're very, very rare. And they come from this sort of era of guitar building where there was this mid-60s guitar boom. And Mosrite that you see on that left end was one of the big builders during like the surf guitar age in California. And then some of the subsidiary sort of brands that branch from it. One was Hallmark, and Hallmark guitars are really cool. Those are extremely rare. They were started by a former Mosrite employee, and they did like one trade show, and they only made like a couple batches of guitars, and then they went totally out of business. So they only really had like a few months of production, or like a year of production. No one knows how many Hallmarks there are. So those are really cool guitars. Not a lot of people know about them, but they're rarely for sale, but they have a really like rabid niche market. The Murphs are kind of in that same tier, but they're not as sought after. Of course, they don't look as nice. In fact, the way they look, you could kind of mistake them as like one of the Japanese import guitars that were flooding the market at the time. But this is what I think is called the Squire, not to be confused with the modern day Squire. The models go, this is a 12-string. It's got the 12-string bridge, and it looks like it's in candy apple red. I don't know what they called that color. Super rare guitar. Really cool. And cool that I got to document it here. Would love to own one just to see what they're all about, but they're a hard sell. They really are. Okay, so 1965 Mosrite Ventures in black. 66 Jazzmaster Sunburst. 63 Jaguar Sunburst. And a 60, we'll say, I think they only made them in like 65 through 67. So I'll say a 65 Murph Squire 12-string guitar. So let's see how I did. Zenon Morales Mosrite copy, 1970. It's a good copy. It's a nice looking copy. 66 Jazzmaster, right there. 63 Jaguar, and then a Caliphone. Okay, they must have called this model, the Squire's the 6-string and the Caliphone is the 12-string. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to look that up. But 66 Candy Apple Red, probably not the official color name, but really cool. Cool guitar. Have no idea what the values are. Jazzmaster is going to be $5,000. The Jaguar is going to be $4,000. Who knows on the Caliphone? Who knows on the Mosrite copy? So what do we got? $900. Hey, $900 for a 70s copy. That's cool. $5,300 for the Jazzmaster. $4,300 for the Jaguar. 23 was marked down for 26. Damn, I'm gonna buy some guitars. Shit, I'm gonna be broke. I'm not gonna be able to pay my bills. So I gotta get myself 2 on that one. Wow, this is taking quite a long time, huh? Oh man. Okay, so what do we got here? We might have to make this the last one because this is taking quite a while. National God, what is it called? Map guitar. I think a lot of these are hard to date, so I'm gonna just have to say 1960s National Map guitar in black. And I don't know what this guitar is, if this is a Harmony or an Airline. I think it's called the H78 model, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know a lot about the department store guitars. I'm completely lost on that one. I'll say it's a 1960 Harmony H78. Who knows? And it looks like we got another 66 Jazzmaster there. Binding, well-defined red. It doesn't have the block set, has the witch hats. So 66 Jazzmasters all day. You can always find a 66 Jazzmaster for some reason. They're like the most plentiful vintage Fender. And then very cool, we got ourselves, I wanted to say it was an ES330, but it looks like, well, yeah, it's gotta be, is it a parallelogram? No, it might be a casino. Is that a casino? It's got a replacement harmonica bridge, that's for sure. I gotta get my old man eyes up here. I wanna say that that's actually like a late 60s casino, or maybe like a 67. See, it's a 67 casino. I don't think it's a 330 because I think it's got the parallelograms. So let's see, 1960s National Map guitar, 1960 Harmony H78, 1966 Fender Jazzmaster, and a 1967 Epiphone Casino with a harmonica bridge. Let's see where we're going. Silvertone, okay, so National Valpro 88 Black 63, they have the year on that. Silvertone 1429, 1960, okay. I think there's another model that's like that, that's a 78. 66 Jazzmaster, and it is an ES330. Shame on me, I should know all about that. I just did a research project on the 330. So I only got one of those. So I'm at 50%? That's not that good. I'm out of 10 out of 24. I'm under 50%. So I got 10 out of 24 right. Not bad for a guy sitting in his basement. Well, there's 3 more pages of this, but I think that's probably enough for this edition of Guitar Surfing with Hopeless. So maybe I'll do the next pages in separate episodes, but I'm just kind of playing out to see if this is any bit of interesting. Probably not. So to the 6 of you who watched this, thank you very, very much. This is Nick Belezzo, Hopeless Guitar Enthusiast, saying always buy things because you get more happy when you buy more things.